Zephyrian Ambassador Kethavar had encountered over 300 distinct species during his diplomatic career, spanning 4 decades. He had negotiated with the crystalline Vorthak whose very thoughts could shatter glass, mediated disputes between the gaseous nebulans who communicated through electromagnetic pulses, and even shared ceremonial meals with the carnivorous Drakthul without losing a limb. Nothing, however, could have prepared him for his first meeting with a human. The encounter was supposed to be routine. Earth had recently achieved faster-than-light travel, a milestone that automatically granted them a seat at the Galactic Confederation's Introductory Council. Kethavar, with his impressive track record of successful first contacts, had been selected to conduct the preliminary assessment. Standard protocol: evaluate the species' psychological stability, technological competence, and potential threat level. File a report. Move on to the next assignment. The human vessel Endeavour docked at Station Gamma 7 with mechanical precision that impressed even Kethavar's seasoned crew. Their ship design was crude by galactic standards, all angular metal and primitive propulsion systems, yet something about its stark functionality suggested a species that prioritized effectiveness over aesthetics. Kethavar made his first note: pragmatic design philosophy, potentially resourceful. When the airlock cycled open, Kethavar's first glimpse of humanity made his secondary heart skip in unison. The creature that stepped through was utterly alien in its familiarity. Bipedal like his own species, but shorter and more compact. Its skin was a warm brown tone, stretched over what appeared to be a surprisingly fragile frame. Sparse hair covered its head in dark waves, and 2 forward-facing eyes, predator's eyes, scanned the docking bay with unsettling intelligence. Ambassador Kethavar. The human's voice was deeper than expected, carrying harmonics that resonated strangely in Kethavar's auditory chambers. I'm Commander Sarah Chen, representing the United Earth Coalition. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting. The terror began immediately, though Kethavar couldn't identify its source. There was something fundamentally wrong about this being. Not wrong in the sense of deformity or disease, but wrong in the way a predator might seem wrong to prey, even when exhibiting perfect manners. The honor is mine, Commander Chen, Kethavar replied, his diplomatic training keeping his voice steady despite the inexplicable unease creeping through his nervous system. Shall we proceed to the conference chamber? As they walked, Kethavar observed the human's movement. Each step was controlled, purposeful, with a fluid efficiency that spoke of a species evolved for pursuit. The way Chen's eyes constantly tracked their surroundings, cataloging exits and potential threats, made Kethavar acutely aware that he was walking beside something that could kill him without apparent effort. In the conference chamber, Chen declined the traditional Zephyrian greeting ritual of shared breath, a wise precaution given their different atmospheric needs, and instead extended her hand. When Kethavar clasped it, the contact sent shockwaves through his system. The human's grip was warm, firm, and controlled, but he could sense the tremendous strength being deliberately restrained. It was like shaking hands with a coiled spring. Before we begin formal negotiations, Chen said, settling into her chair with predatory grace, I want to address something that might seem unusual about my species. Our psychological profiles probably look alarming to most galactic civilizations. Kethavar's tertiary heart began racing. In what way, Commander? Chen's mouth curved upward in what Kethavar's briefings had identified as a smile, supposedly a gesture of friendliness, though it prominently displayed her omnivore's teeth. We're persistence hunters, Ambassador. For most of our evolutionary history, we didn't chase prey because we were faster or stronger. We chased them because we never stopped. We would track an animal for days, weeks if necessary, until it collapsed from exhaustion. The room suddenly felt smaller. Kethavar found himself calculating the distance to the emergency exit. We also, Chen continued conversationally, have this interesting psychological quirk where extreme stress or danger can trigger what we call an adrenaline response. It makes us faster, stronger, and significantly more dangerous than our baseline capabilities would suggest. Some of our best problem-solving happens when we're terrified. Kethavar made his second note with trembling appendages. Species exhibits predatory persistence traits and stress-enhanced performance. Threat assessment extremely high. But then Chen did something that changed everything. She pulled out a small device, a primitive tablet computer, and showed him images of Earth. Not the military installations or industrial centers that most species proudly displayed, but something else entirely. Pictures of humans caring for injured animals, humans building shelters for other species, humans risking their own lives to save creatures they had never met before. This is what we do when we're not hunting, Chen said softly. We adopt orphaned animals. We cry at fictional stories. We'll drive hundreds of kilometers to return a lost pet to its family. We have humans who dedicate their entire lives to preserving species they'll never directly benefit from. The images kept coming. Human children sharing food with stray animals. Human adults rescuing creatures from natural disasters. Human scientists working tirelessly to cure diseases that affected other worlds. You see, Ambassador, Chen explained. Evolution made us persistent hunters, but consciousness made us choosy about what we hunt. These days, we mostly hunt problems. Diseases, poverty, injustice, extinction. We'll pursue a cure for cancer with the same relentless determination our ancestors used to track mammoth. Kethvar stared at the images, his fear transforming into something he had never experienced before. Awe mixed with hope. Here was a species that had weaponized their deadliest traits in service of life itself. We know we're terrifying, Chen admitted. But we're terrifying to the right things. To oppression, to cruelty, to the idea that problems can't be solved. She leaned forward, and Kethvar no longer saw a predator. He saw something far more dangerous and infinitely more wonderful. We're persistence hunters, Ambassador, and we've decided to hunt for a better universe. As Kethvar filed his report that evening, he struggled to find adequate words. How did one describe a species that could inspire simultaneous terror and admiration? How did one quantify the potential of beings who had turned their most frightening evolutionary adaptations into tools of compassion? In the end, he wrote simply, humanity approved for full Confederation membership. Recommendation: immediate integration into crisis response teams. Additional note: request assignment as permanent human liaison. This species will reshape our understanding of what intelligent life can become. The universe, Kethvar realized, was about to become a far more interesting place.